And now, speaking of reactions and emotions, President Obama had his press conference last week, and I watched it, and people parsed this and analyzed it. As they analyze everything, people do, the media pundits in the world, and, people go to conventions, have debates, and people, they tear it apart, they analyze everything. Now, I gotta tell you, I was watching President Obama's speech, and he's speaking about the oil spill, and he had a really deep grasp of the minutiae of it, which is what I'm calling it, very, very specific details. But I was a little bit taken aback by the fact that he seemed to just not have the emotion that I wanted him to have. Now, give me a call, 877-CHAT-212. Let me know if I'm off about this, if you're thinking the same thing. People were talking about this out in the world all week long. In fact, Spike Lee, he was on, speaking of Anderson Cooper, we mentioned him earlier in the show. Anderson Cooper has his show on CNN 360, AC 360. Spike Lee said he wanted Obama to go off. He said this was the time, and I thought, I really feel the same thing. And other people that I was speaking with were in agreement with me. Other people disagreed. I was doing my Facebook postings. Now, we know that Obama is known for his coolness. That's one of his characteristics, and I think that is something that people like about him. I like the fact that I don't have a knee-jerk president who just reacts to stuff in a knee-jerk fashion. That being said, I think there are times when you just want somebody to get emotional, to get angry, and I think this is one of those times. I think people want it. At the end of the day, presidents and people in positions of power, managers, sales managers, whoever it may be, people that are in positions of power that people look up to, a lot of what they do, it's not always the details. Many times it's the way they deliver the message. And I was very, very disappointed in what I saw from Obama. And I brought up the Spike Lee reference because just to show that I'm not alone in feeling that. A lot of people wanted to see more emotion. People expect people to behave in certain ways when things happen. We see this all the time when, you'll watch the documentaries. As you all know, I'm a big A&E fan. I like to watch all those documentaries and forensic files I've spoken about. And many times, you come home, somebody's dead, and if you call 911 and say, there's no crying, no shrieking, no screaming, people go ding, ding, ding. There could be something more here. We expect people to act a certain way when they, get into a car wreck or discover a dead body, or when things happen that should solicit a certain emotional response. And I think to have our coast waters inundated with oil is a time for Obama to lose his cool. That's the cool thing about being a cool person and being level-headed. When you lose your cool, it has even more of an impact because people don't see it all the time. You've got those people. I used to work with somebody who would cry about everything. Couldn't find their paper clips. Crying. Somebody stubbed their toes. They're in tears. So when they were really crying about something very, very significant, it really lost its impact. So Obama, when you get angry, it's time for you to lose your cool. Michelle would have already lost it by now. Michelle's cursing people out in the background. I need Obama. I need Obama to get angry. This is not the time to dither and dilly-dally. He's been accused of doing that stuff in the past. This is what it reminds me of. I was talking to my producer about this, I think maybe even last week. It reminds me of a horror movie. Now, horror movies, they're all the same. There's 7 people, somebody got lost, a car got wrecked, and you're either in a house or in the forest or what have you, and you're in a place with lots of doors and rooms and one escape route. So there's always the characters in the movie. You have like the smart nerdy one, then you have the jock, then you have the slutty girl. It's all the same. And then there's always somebody who seems to figure stuff out and come up with a plan of action. This reminds me of of a horror movie, this whole BP oil thing, and the way that Obama, he's just not going off, and he's doing what I consider to be dithering and wanting to please everybody. And it's like, I don't want to be with Obama in a horror movie, because Freddy Krueger or Jason's going to have all of us in a house, and Obama's going to be one of the people, and he's going to be analyzing everything and getting stuck in the minutiae. And in the meantime, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface are getting their saws and their knives and their axes ready, and they're coming through the door, and Obama's still going to be over here trying to please everybody and make everyone happy. You know what, Obama? Sorry, you're going to get your ass killed. Little learn. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting angry. It's time to get angry. I'm getting out of the haunted house. I don't want to get my behind sawed off, stabbed, cut with a chainsaw, whatever it may be. It's time for you to go off. Time for you to get angry, Mr. Obama. Well, some other headlines, crazy stuff. McDonald's, Shrek. Did you hear about this? 12 million Shrek cups have been recalled. If you have gotten any of these Shrek cups for your kids, or I shouldn't even say for your kids, because I know some of these adults out there love to get Happy Meals. I've ordered one a time or two. Little Ern likes his toy, so I do go into a McDonald's from time to time. I do get embarrassed when I order the Happy Meal. I lie. I will admit I lie. I say it's for my cousin Bobby, who's waiting out in the car. I have no cousin Bobby, and there is no kid waiting in the car. The Happy Meal is all for me. McDonald's will recall around 12 million Shrek-themed drinking glasses after federal regulators discovered they contained cadmium, which is a potential carcinogen after long-term exposure. Now, cadmium, you probably are thinking, I've seen that word before. You have. They use cadmium in batteries. Now, I don't know what company manufactured the cups. I don't know whose bright idea it was, but I just don't even see how cadmium was even able to be put into the cups to begin with. And one other fact for those of you all who are going back to school. I know a lot of people are going back to school in this day and age. Walmart, you can get everything there. Food, car batteries, aspirin. You can also get college credit. That's right. The retail giant, a longtime Sam's Club, has partnered with the online-based American Public University to offer its employees college credits for tasks performed on the job. That's right. Work at Walmart and get your degree. Well, you know what? We got to take a break to pay the bills. Stick around. After this, we are going to be talking to John Waters coming up right after this break.